Hello everybody, this is Bob and welcome to race number 46 of the 2020-21 NROL Skittles Cup Series season. This is the Oceaneering 400 at the Texas Motor Speedway. Yep, Cup Series racing at Texas again, and all the sausages. Good one. And yes, it is time once again for the Cup Series and stuff. So, yeah, what's the setup then? Well, I tell you what. From last week, we went from a championship fight that was within 5 points of each other, to now a championship fight that is, quite a lot more broad, let's just say. So the big three that we want to look out for in this race, as far as points, is we're going to be looking out for Ryan Blaney, Bobbin, and Mortrix Jr. Those are the top three in the standings. And those are, at the moment, those are the only three drivers that actually have a mathematical shot and win this championship with 5 races to go. Everyone on back is over a whole race behind. So, if one of those guys really wants to get back into championship contention, they are really going to need to save the season starting now, as 5 races remain. So what's going to happen in this particular race? Well, yesterday's Siemens Nash Series race here was a rather interesting one, and well, this race should be an interesting one as well. So, with all that in mind, let's give you the starting grid for this race. Starting the pole is Kurt Busch, alongside second is Tyler Reddick, third is Bank Coaches, fourth is Matt Kenseth, fifth is Rebecca, sixth is Oliver, seventh is William Byron, 8th is Jimmy Johnson, 9th is Joe Logano, 10th is Cole Custer, 11th is Ryan Blaney, 12th is Donald, 13th is Lee Hamlin, 14th is Ryan Preece, 15th is Formula Bobbin, 16th is Chase Elliott, 17th is Chris Buescher, 18th is Duck, 19th is Tim Tom, 20th is Eric Jones, 21st is Alex Bowman, 22nd is Perry Sharp, 23rd is Marcus Jr., 24th is Russell David and his Thierry Pinkston once again, 25th is Christian Bell, 26th is Nia, 27th is Clint Boyer, 28th is Kyle Busch, 29th is Douglas, 30th is Ricky Sales Jr., 31st is the Relix Box Nerd, 32nd is Eric Garola, 33rd is Brad Keselowski, 34th is Matt Benedetto, 35th is Kevin Harvick, 36th is Ryan Newman, 37th is Scroogen, 38th is Bell Wallace, 39th is Austin Dillon, 40th is Andrew Six, 41st is Reed Sorensen, and 42nd is Mr. Lady. So then, what can we expect from this race? Well, hopefully a clean one. As to give credit to the Siemens Nash Series guys yesterday, they had a really clean race. First caution came out on lap 1, but that's to be expected. Second caution came out in the middle of the race, and the third caution came out on the final lap. But at that point, you know, Austin was already setting sail. He was already going to win the race, so it didn't really matter. This race, of course, is a little bit longer than the Siemens Nash Series, but also a little bit shorter than the version of the race that we did earlier on in the season. So I tell you what, I am definitely looking forward to this race. I mean, the Skittles Cup has been putting on a pretty good show recently as well. They had a good race last week in Kansas, a good race the week before that in Denver. The only real Clash Festival race we've seen from these guys is All Club. And hey, that's still 4 out of 5 good races. So, as we're entering the second half of the playoff season, what can we expect from these guys today? Well, we're about to find out. As pace car pulls off here, Tyler Reddick going to lead them off. And green flag in the air for the Oceaneering 400 from Texas Motor Speedway. Side by side to the first corner. Good racing between Reddick and Kurt Busch. But the big one is going to be turn 4. How many guys will be able to make it through there on lap 1? Could everyone make it through on lap 1? Well, the whole field is double file. So it's going to be interesting to see. Here's Bank Coaches goes to the lead. Bank Coaches already racing to the lead here in Texas. And here you go through the trench to turn 4. It looks like everyone's going to make it through. Good job, field, to make it through lap 1. And Banco has lead, but here comes Oliver. Oliver here will already make his way through here. Oliver having to slow up a little bit as Banco is going to keep the lead here. Oliver on the bottom lane. Ooh, here comes William Byron, gonna make it 3 wide for the lead. A very, very dangerous move to do this early in the race. But they made it work. Well done, guys. William Byron staying the lead here. Here comes Cole Custer. Cole Custer, a driver who is really in need of needing to save his season. And here he is up here in first. Alright, well, we survived turn 1. Tell you what, though, how many more laps can we survive on the field double file like this? Well, I know it's likely going to crash. That's happened at some point in this race, at least once, so... How long until that happens, though? Ooh, the field really slowed down through that corner. Probably for the best. And there we go! First crash of the day is already happening. Or is it? Yeah, it is. Right, we made it 4 laps with a caution, and here comes Point of Bombin. And yes, first caution of the day is out in Texas. Tell you what, the crash did look pretty minor. So hey, well, there was a crash. At least it was a pretty small one. So let's actually see who did what. So it was William Byron that caused that. So let's see what actually happened. He got into it with Matt Kenseth hitting the outside wall. And that's it. That being said, that is going to send Matt Kenseth to the back of the field. Well, close to it anyways. And there was another bit of a scare here. I think Chris Bell was battling with somebody. Let's see what happened with Bell here. Yeah, Chris Bell got into it with Clint Boyd coming onto the front straightaway. Both are able to save it and keep it going. And for the first time today, it's time to slow down, but at least most of the field is still here. Tire smoke though still doesn't calm down. I guess that was a lot of tire smoke from William Byron there. Anyways, first caution of the day. I don't think maybe we're gonna pit here. Oh, okay, a couple guys pitting. Alright, so here we go. So Kurt Busch coming down per rule, though Kurt Busch did incur a little bit of damage. Same for William Byron having to pit to replace the tires as he skidded quite a long ways. I assume Matt Kenseth is going to be coming down here as well in just a moment. Yes, he is. Ooh, Kyle Busch with a bit of rear end damage. And that's it. So yeah, first caution today, but a very minor one, but considering how aggressive this field was being, it was probably for the best. Oh well. So everyone did some jockeying for position the first 5 laps. So of course, now we're going to be single file for the rest of the restarts in this race. Oh, Russell David! Wow! Russell David with the moves. Russell David all the way up to 8th. Ooh! Okay. Here comes Kurt Busch. Actually, both Ganassi cars were involved in that crash. So Kurt Busch on the track, Byron here, and Matt Kenseth. Oh, Kenseth a little bit slow here, but Matt Kenseth now rejoined the race. Alright, so all 42 cars are still going to be in this race on the restart. So let's skip forward a couple of laps to the lights on the pace car. And yep, okay, we'll skip another lap here. Oh, never mind. There we go, green flag back in the air in Texas. Perfect timing. And Cole Custer out in the front here. And here is Point of Bombin. Just last week, Point of Bombin was in contention to win, but couldn't keep up with Kenseth. But Point of Bombin leading to start today. Tell you what, though, the field didn't take too long. We're already back to being double file throughout most of this field. But Point of Bombin, for the second week in a row, looking like a contender for this race. And here's Eric Jones. A couple puff guys up here actually that really need to get a good finish. I tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see how the points stick up once this race is done. Well, with the current running order that we have, but it is pretty early, so way too early to be saying things like, oh, that's gonna happen and stuff like that, you know? As here comes Eric Jones around Freund de Bobbin. And Eric Jones to the lead. Here comes Donald. Donald's making his way through here. Russell got shuffled back a little bit on the restart. And you know, Hoopy was playing the same game in the last race, so Hoopy must have had a talk with Russell before this race and say, hey, you gotta do this and do that to win this race. Now, of course, Freund de Bobbin didn't have that conversation, as Freund de Bobbin is a much more experienced racer compared to his two rookie teammates, but that being said, he's starting to get shuffled back here, but as who Freund de Bobbin is, he's the aggressive type. By the way, Russell David in his TRE car that drove a lot earlier in the season, the race at Circuit of the Americas at Texas World Speedway, and both of those were bad races for Russell. So Russell hasn't a good run in this TRE car so far, but now right at a track that in a city that the Trinity Roadway Express likes to serve, so maybe. And Eric Jones now about to be overtaken by Donald. Couple Solo Sports 2 guys up here as well. The Scottish Twins start to come up here, and so is Oliver. So a number of Solus guys up here. Oliver already has a couple wins on the season. Trying to go for another one. And speaking of Circuit of the Americas, that's the only track that Freund de Bobbin has won at this whole season. Another thing worth mentioning, we will see pit stops in this race at some point or another, either under caution or under the green if there are no more cautions. As everyone that wasn't involved in the first lap caution or the fourth lap caution did not pit, as Eric Jones, and there we go, caution's back underway again, and this time it's huge. This time it is absolutely huge. It's a massive pile up on the front straightaway. However, the front of the pack already didn't take the yellow flag that time around. So these guys still racing back to the line. Freund de Bobbin in the lead here. And Freund de Bobbin is looking to win the race back to the line. He's on the side by side with Oliver though, but yes, Freund de Bobbin will win the race back to the line. We're under caution once again, and oh no! And the leaders crashed into Alex Bowman, who is sitting on the racetrack. And we have had the huge one now, as I just spit all over my monitor. Good job, me. Wow. I tell you what, we had a pretty minor first crash today, but now it is the big one in Texas. Holy moly. So let's see what happened to bring out this caution. You saw it in the background, but of course now I need to get a better view of it and look at what happened here. So first up, I started with a wild Eric Jones. So first up, let's actually look at Eric Jones' perspective and see what happened in full. Here we go. And he gets into it with a few guys, and they all crash. And man, no one for anyone can go nowhere, and yeah. Basically, the crash was so massive that no one was able to go anywhere. Oh no. Banco's upside down? Oh no. Someone was upside down though. Oh, it's Mr. Lighty. Oh dear, Mr. Lighty back for races. He's out. There's another white car. Is that Russell? Oh no, it's Bowman. Okay. So what actually happened to Russell David then? No, I know, but you know. Oh! He made it through unscathed, didn't he? Hang on, what happened to Russell here? And oh boy, it was close. But Russell David makes it through unscathed, almost. Wow. Man, that was really lucky. I tell you what, the Russell, he has a knack for missing the accidents early on in the race. So, let's see if he can keep up this action. Oh, hang on a minute. It's still wrecking. And once again, he makes it through. Wow. Man, two close calls for Russell. Wow. Okay. That bad damage? Nah, I think that's just a visual glitch. Yeah. I think Russell's car is fine. He will continue this race with a decent car. Tell you what though, oh, he's got a bit of rear damage. Okay, so Russell's car isn't in the perfect condition, so he will have to make a pit stop to make a couple repairs, but after that, he should be fine. Anyways, let's go back again and see what actually happened. Let's analyze the big one a bit more closely. So let's get an alternate camera angle. Oh, never mind, that's not... Okay, let's go to the helicopter camera. So if we go into slow motion here, and it's okay. So Aaron Jones is already getting wild, just losing control, and then he gets into with Clint Boyer, and then he just loses control, and he gets into it. Oh no, Donald actually got into it with Logano, and Clint Boyer got involved as well. And from there on, it was no real saving. As like, well, the car's got a couple, got a bit of air. And just so much going on, no place for any of these guys to go. I think somebody actually went upside down at one point. I think that was Mr. Lighty. Let's see what happened again. Man, big crash. I think it was Mr. Lighty, the only one actually went upside down there. Actually went from what happened to Mr. Lighty. Man, there's so much tire smoke, you can't see a darn thing here. Alright, let's see if we can get somewhat of an assessment. Slow it down a lot. Yeah, a lot of these guys just had nowhere to go. Because the crash... Oh, it got hit in the rear by Alex Bowman. Then he got hit in the front, or hit the back end of Danger 6. And it was squeezed in the middle. And then... got hit by Alex Bowman. And as a result of that, that is what sent Mr. Lighty into a roll. Lots of other damage here. Yeah, a lot of cars with damage after that one. There's gonna have to be a number of guys coming up your road to fix all that. And then here, wow, this happened. The same thing happened in the Siemens Nazi race in front of Bobbin. Another near miss for a Bob Motorsports guy. And the top lane just can't seem to avoid whatchamacallit. And the silk crash is still going. Well. Number of drivers done for the day after this one. Ryan Preece, man, Preece just hasn't been able to catch any breaks in this playoff season. So who's that's coming down for real? Well, a lot of guys, obviously. So let's see from the... I think we can get an idea from the pit lane. Ah, here we go. So let's actually see when the caution came out. Okay, here comes the boys. Obviously there's a front pack coming here that will inevitably have the crash. These guys will also... Man! Okay, Preece was in this pack as well, so Preece survived one crash, only to be taken out in the next. What about Jimmy Johnson? Did he get taken out as well? Nah, he slowed up in time. Oh, never mind, he got hit. Or he hit. Alright, so Rebecca actually the first one down per road here. So let's actually see who's gonna come down per road. And hey, the maker of the track actually put a good pit lane 2 camera. Okay, so Rebecca the first one down pit road. Let's see who comes next. Pit road is actually closed. Oh, never mind, now it's open. Huh, Nia. with a weird move. That pit lane is open. So a lot of cars coming down pit road to service and repair the damage. The pit road's gonna be pretty busy under this caution. Yep, everyone. Yeah, Ryan Breeze done for the day. Race Box Nerd done for the day. Man. So everyone is pitted. So the other one out here now is the pace car. I tell you what, the lineup of the field is gonna be pretty weird. That's bad. That'll really end up the first one on back on the racetrack. So who's actually gonna be where in terms of like position in the race? Tim doesn't have a front bumper anymore. For involvement, so actually, I think Chris Buescher gonna be leading this race. Jimmy Johnson and Russell David. You know, Ryan Preece survived one crash, only be involved in another one, but Russell David did survive both crashes that happened there. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens to him in this race from here on out, or for the rest of this race. Yeah, going a bit slowly for some reason. I tell you what, the lineup of this race is going to become weird now. Yeah, Russell David now being scored in 5th. Oh, something with Nia. I don't know why she's running so slowly. She's gotta get a move on. Oh no, she's gonna pull right behind the pace car. Okay, that's probably for the best. So... yeah, a lot of cars going a lap down or 2 laps down. So I'll have to see what the lineup is going to be here. So let's see. Okay, we're going to go green. Alright, lights out on the pace car. So how are these guys going to... oh. Oh, I see. So this is going to be the weirdest race restart. I mean, there's so many guys that just, I don't know. Well, anyway, so if all these guys that are actually not on the lead lap, but they're all here anyways. So what we're going to do here is go to the guy who's being scored in first, and that is actually Christopher Bell. So Christopher Bell is actually officially your leader in this race. So we're going to be checking up with him. So Christopher Bell is actually leading this race. Anyone that's around here, they're actually a couple laps down, or a lap down. Tell you what, let's try to get this field is going to be a lot more spread out. But for those who did survive that crash, for the few that did, this race should get interesting. Alright, pace car pulls in. And green flag back in the air in Texas. Christopher Bell unable to really do anything as he's just boxed in by all these slower cars. And actually, this has opened up the bottom lane for the leaders. So, right now, William Barr not actually being scored up here. So Chris Bush on the high lane. So actually the lead of this race here is going to be Jimmy Johnson. And Jimmy Johnson to the lead. And Russell David is actually quite a fan of Jimmy Johnson, is up a second. And Jimmy Johnson also driving a special lure for this race. That is the Lefty Designs Special, also known as Zeus. As Billbon already crashed again, it crashes back out. Which is probably for the best because right now this field is a mess. That being said, this is actually going to help out a lot of the guys who were in front of the leaders. They're going to be back on the lead lap. So this caution is probably for the best. Oh boy. Oh no! Jimmy Johnson gets into a danger 6! Oh man, they're able to slow it up, but oh boy. That was a close one. And oh no! Fronito Bobbin, your points leader, has a blown engine! Fronito Bobbin has a blown engine! And that is going to tighten up the points read up front. Wow. Fronito Bobbin with a blown engine is done for the day. So what happened? Well, let's go back in time and see. I actually did see in the background here. The guys actually went on for quite a while. I think he started earlier with William Byron. Oh no, actually Byron. Actually, it was multiple guys. Even a couple leaders here. Cole Custer. No, yeah, Cole Custer was up here. Oh no. Cole Custer and others, and Fronito Bobbin got taken out in the crash. And oh man, Cole Custer and others going with a jump. That's pretty much done for the day. And unfortunately for Fronito Bobbin, he is done. Wow. Man, Fronito Bobbin didn't need that. That's not gonna put him at risk of not winning this championship. Was that it though? Yeah. Well then, right as we got back underway, we're under caution again. Well then, hopefully we'll have a proper restart this time. I think Blaney and Truex got involved in the crash as well. Yeah, Truex now with some damage. He's now lapped down, and where's Ryan Blaney? Oh, here's Blaney. I tell you what, though, Fronito Bobbin may be out of this race, but he sure as heck isn't out of this championship, as he's not the only one who's had problems today. Anyone pit? Christian Bell. Oh, a few guys that came down per road as well. Alright, let's now skip forward a little bit. So let's see who's going to restart where. At least the leaders are actually going to be up front on this restart, not back some rows. Oh, here we go. Okay, so all the bottom lane actually coming up here. Oh, actually, Sully's found his way up here, and so is Oliver. But right now, Tyler Reddick is your race leader. So right now on the lead lap, well, obviously I have all the lead lap cars. I tell you what though, this is good news because now all the guys running up front, they're on the high line and they're actually up front, so they'll be able to get a good restart, get away from lap cars, and then have their own proper race. So let's fast forward just a little bit. Actually, anyone on pit road here? Nope. So actually, we're now down to 20 cars, all on the lead lap. However, at least they're actually on the lead lap this time and not some sausages. So 20 cars on the lead lap. Thing is, though, a lot of those cars have damage, so there really isn't that many drivers left who are actually in contention for this race, which is kind of weird to say. We're not even at the halfway point yet. Yeah, we're not even at the halfway point in this race, and already a lot of competition is out of this race. So here we go again. And green flag back in the air in Texas. Tyra gets a good start, but Russell David not quite. Still side by side with Kyle Busch. Going into the first corner. Kyle Busch, a lap down car, not running for position here. Russell David, though, in second, trying to stay there. Let's see, well, Russell David will clear Kyle Busch here. And I tell you what, the NROL Express are going to get a lot of exposure from this, as their star driver is now currently running in second. And there's some more battling going on in the back of the field. But now Russell David has managed to make his way through here, and is just behind Tyler Reddick, who's in second. Meanwhile, Jimmy Johnson, who has had a number of good race ones recently. Jimmy Johnson up to third. And here goes Russell David. It's been a little while since I've seen Russell run this far up the pack, but here he goes, trying to get around Tyler Reddick. And Russell David, he has been in need of some help here in this playoff run. But if Russell David can do well today, he could very well make a run at this championship. So I tell you what, if Russell does well today and keeps that momentum throughout the next 4 races, he could be a champion. And here comes Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, who's also fought his way up to the pack. Jimmy Johnson, I tell you what, this race for is going to get in here. So you got a couple rookies racing alongside a 7-time champion. Here's Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman and Kurt Busch also running for position. They just have to get around to Kyle Busch. And we could see a very exciting battle for the lead throughout the rest of this race. And I tell you, we're actually going to have very few cars up here that will actually will be in contention. But when you have racing going for the lead, it's all about quality versus quantity. We may not have a lot of cars, but we do have a few very good cars. So this should get interesting. And Russell David. And this isn't just a hometown thing for NROL Express. Russell David, a Texas native, is now running up front in front of his home crowd. And caution out again. Man, and caution out again. What has been a very chaotic race. Ooh, Jimmy Johnson, though, gets to Russell David. Ooh, it's actually a good race for the race back to line between Russell David and Jimmy Johnson. But Russell David is just barely going to edge him out here. So then, all the leaders this time didn't even have anything to do with this crash. So the question then is, what actually happened to bring out this crash then? Tell you what, this race is even more chaotic than the Siemens Nash's race. Not even possible. So what happened? Oh, more sausages happening. And this time with Truex. Wow. Truex was running up here. What happened? He's tagging him with Tim Tom, it seems. Yep. And Truex, another one who would watch out for, goes for a spin. Alright, well, there's the crash then. So leaders did at least get to the caution flag before they could get caught up in any sort of accidents, so yeah. Alright. So then, who's gonna pit? Let's see. Leader staying out. Guys being weird here. Tell you what, that crash wasn't very big, so, yeah. That's it, that's low field. Alright, then we'll skip a couple laps here. Lights out again. So once again, the leader is having to deal with some slow cars on the inside line. So we'll see how good of a start they can get. As we know, we're just now approaching the halfway point in this race. Is Truex still in this race, by the way? No, I think he's done. Right, so here we go. Green flag in the air once again. Once again, drivers are actually top in the running order, trying getting a good start here. Just have to stay on the high lane, and I tell you what though, Kyle Busch, he's been fast. So I tell you, if Kyle Busch really wants to race these guys, Kyle Busch should try his best to get around Reddick here. Because he's really just holding up the leaders. And here is Mr. Lady trying to make it 3 wide. Mr. Lady now trying to race. It's the race within the race. And Jimmy Johnson, the last driver to clear these maniacs in the lap down cars. Russell David, time got broken away, but Jimmy Johnson still has to clear them. And looks like he will. Now, I don't know. Oh, Kurt Busch! Kurt Busch is actually running for a position here. This is going to cost Jimmy Johnson a spot here. Kurt Busch is running for a position, and he will take that spot away from Jimmy Johnson. And Kurt Busch up to 3rd place in Texas. Gridrin, another one running for a position. So Gridrin now up here. And that has actually costed Jimmy Johnson a couple spots here, as now we have Gridrin and Kurt Busch race each other. And Nia here as well. Nia, another one. Actually, a lot of guys that are running for position are up here now. It's gonna get crazy now, as Russell David gets around Tyler Reddick, and Russell David backs the lead in Texas. However, he has a lot of competition behind. So actually up here you got Nia, Kurt Busch, Matt Bonello, Jimmy Johnson, and Bubba Wallace up here as well. Yeah, I can't believe it, but Bubba Wallace is running in this pack. So here we go. As long as we don't have any more cautions, this could be the race for the win. As the last remaining cars that are actually still in it to win it are now running all up front. Eric NROL up here as well. Mr. Lighty, though, still up here, even though Mr. Lighty not running for position. And here we go. I tell you what, it is so good to see that TRE car in the lead. I mean, for the couple of races that it ran earlier on the season, we did not see this car very much. And now here we are. We're back in Texas. We actually have the TRE car in the part of Texas where it actually makes sense, and it is running in 1st place. So TRE fans, soak in as much as you can. And Thierry will likely be back on Russell David's car in future seasons, but to have them on this car one more time before this season's all over with is quite something. And originally, we weren't actually going to see this car for the rest of the season as there were no more Texas races, but then, when I had to go in and realign the schedule, I put Texas as one of the races, and so I figured, hey, let's have that TRE car run one more time in this season. And here is Nia going for the lead. Nia, another driver, looking for redemption. And Nia still looking for that first win after her mess up from Sandown. And I tell you what, out of playoff drivers, Russell David is the only playoff driver in this whole pack. And you would have forgotten Russell was a playoff driver from how badly he's done in this playoffs run. But Russell can start to turn around now. Meanwhile, this lead pack having a pretty good race here. Anyway, here is Tyler Redden up in front and Matt DiBenedetto running up here as well. Our first lap down car about to come indeed. And that is Rebecca, ironically, just happens to be Nia's teammate. And Gudrun's too. Let's get a couple of Soul Sports guys in this pack. Rebecca, though, on the best, does have 2 wins in the Cup Series season and is going to hold up Kurt Busch, but that's it. Alright, also going to get by a slow-moving Rebecca. Single file throughout the top 10. Oh, here comes Jimmy Johnson. Never mind. Jimmy Johnson making his way back up the pack. Russell David following. Yeah. Ooh, still trying to get around Nia. Actually, having a little bit of trouble here as Nia, not an easy driver to pass. So right now, we're actually down to 19 cars in the lead lap. 19 is still a lot, though. Although only 10 of those guys actually have a shot at this race. And here comes Ryan Newman. And now your whole top 10 is trying to make some haste and be a part of this lead battle. Meanwhile, Matt DiBenedetto actually found a way. Hang on, I did miss the lead here. And here goes Matt DiBenedetto with the pass below Tyler Reddick. I think Nia's actually going to take advantage of this as well, and she does. Nia going to go to the bottom lane with Matt DiBenedetto. And Tyler Reddick going to lose a couple spots here. New leader, Matt DiBenedetto. And here comes Nia. Now, that being said though, Nia will be back at Solus Motorsports next season. But I think Nia would like to scratch CH before this season is over. Reddick, though, now with the moves, Reddick trying to get underneath Nia. And here comes Gridron. Gridron does have a win this season, which came at the Kansas night race earlier in the season. Now here's where the sound to get win number 2. Reddick now going back underneath Nia. Here comes another lap down car, which could affect things. Here's Kevin Harvick. Actually, Harvick, the last driver on the lead lap. Well, here we go, and the fields all going on the low line. And yes, most field will get around Harvick cleanly. And here comes Nia with the pass. And Nia with the overtake on Matt Bandetto. And now for the first time today, Nia leads the race. And Matt Bandetto now stuck in the high line, losing a few spots. Russell David taking his time. And never mind, Russell David trying to make the double overtake. He gets around Matt Bandetto. Looks like he's going to get around Grigson here as well. Is it too early for those kind of moves, though? We'll see. Ooh, Russell David, though, not able to complete the pass on Grigson just yet. I'll hold back just a little bit. And also, pit stops. I'm not sure if we're going to see those in this race. By seeing those in this race, I mean seeing drivers pit naturally and not because of crash damage. I don't think we've seen that from the leaders, so... we'll see. Oh no, we did see it. They did pit in the first caution, or second caution on lap 18 or something, so... These guys should be good to go until the checkered flag. Meanwhile, Russell David now in a swarm with Eric Almirola. 20 laps to go. Nia leads this one. I think, I'm not sure, this is the closest that Nia has been to winning a race since Sandown. She may have been close to winning it though a couple of times this season, I don't remember, but either way, Nia is actually leading this race. But tires are getting worn out, so I'll tell you what, Russell David wants to win this one. He's going to have to step up his game. And you know, Hubi Legs Post was in the exact same position. So Russell must have had a talk with Hubi about what to do in this race. And I think Russell David is putting those talks into practice. Looks like he's going to clear Almirola. Is he still? Yes, he does. Russell David will clear Eric Almirola. And now we can set his sights on the leaders, who could get caught up by slap traffic here, as here is Christopher Bell, the next slow driver to go a lap down here. Will Christopher Bell hold up the leaders? He might, as Nia has successfully been able to lead this race for quite a few laps now. But this lap down car of Christopher Bell could slow things up. Christopher Bell, the next driver to go a lap down. Let's see. Christopher Bell, they're not taking the wings slow, so we'll have to see. Ooh, and they're having to brake a little bit as not to get into, Christopher Bell. She gets around him this time. Ooh, that being said, though, the first field better make haste. Here goes Reddick around Christopher Bell. And Grigson most David should follow suit, but we have another lap down car. This time it's Rebecca again. Rebecca about to go another lap down here. And Russell David clears Christopher Bell, but now, once again, we're faced with a challenge, or once again, the lead pack is faced with a challenge of getting one of a slow-moving Rebecca. Ooh, okay, Rebecca gonna get out of the way right away of her teammate. However, Tyler Reddick gets held up by Rebecca, and the field having to slow up here. As that is, and now, just like that, Tyler Reddick is going to hand the spot to Russell David. And Russell moves up to third. And Russell David only has 2 more cars that stand between him and his first career Cup Series win. Here goes Russell David on Grigson. Now, Russell David does have 1 win, but that came in the Siemens Nash Series race in New Jersey. And, of course, that race being in the Siemens Nash doesn't matter as far as points. However, if Russell David could win the day, it could put him right back in contention for the Skittles Cup Series Championship. But of course, still has to do it. Even just finishing in third will put him high up in the points. But that win, if he makes up 2 more spots, is a whole other 10 points he could earn in this race. Reddick, though, not exactly giving up, but neither is Matt Bandetto. Reddick I mean, Matt Bandana with the move on Reddick. However, all the talk about Russell's even stuff, well, we can't forget about Nia. Nia, however, is the one in the first position and the best chance at the moment of winning a race. And I tell you what, this would be closer for Nia. Because if Nia could win this race, she could scratch off that embarrassing loss from Sandown. Ironically though, when Nia did mess up, it was one of her teammates that won the race. Nia's teammate of Gudrun is currently running at second, so we currently have a couple solo sports cars running in the first and second position. So, could we see redemption from Sandown or a repeat of Sandown? 10 laps to go. 10 laps to find out the result of this race. But tires are pretty well worn out on these guys, so unless another caution comes out from now to the end, it could just be made for Nia. So 10 to go in Texas. What's going to happen here? Is Nia losing ground? Or is that just an illusion? Well, let's look at the timer. Ooh. We can only gain 100th of a second on Nia that time, and yes, tires are wearing off, so this might just be it. This might be everything that Nia needs to do in order to get the win in this race. Oh, here goes Russell David, though. Russell David hasn't given up, and Russell David goes beneath Gudrun. And Russell David up to second place. That's another 5 points gained in the championship standings. Or championship runnings, you know what I mean. And another thing worth mentioning, this isn't the first time that Russell has finished second. So can Russell run down Nia in these next laps? If he were to win here, it would be absolutely huge. Ooh, doesn't gain any time that time by, but we still have a few laps to go. Man, tires are wearing off. He may have to over a lap down car. Any more lap down cars here? Nope. So Russell will have to overtake Nia on pace. Five laps to go. A pair of young drivers looking for their first career win in the NROL Skittles Cup Series. Could it be the hometown hero or the girl who's from a completely different place entirely? Another couple hundred of a second, Russell was able to chop off there, but it's just not going to be enough. Russell needs to be better than that. And the next lap down cars are just too far in front. I do not think that there's enough time left in this race for Russell to rely on a lap down car to get this win. He's going to have to do it on pace. 4 laps to go. Russell gains time, but not a lot. I tell you what, a second place will still be very, very beneficial for Russell in this championship fight. But I think ultimately he wants that dub. Three laps to go. Oh, Nia slowed up quite a bit there, but so did Russell. Actually, Russell gained a little bit of ground there. This is it. This is it. This could come down to a last lap pass. Two to go. Here he goes again. Russell sends it into the corner on Nia. He's going to have to send it really hard, though, on this final lap. Or that Nia makes a mistake or something. Something needs to give for Russell. But Nia doesn't look like she's gonna give in, and here we go, white flag, one left to go in Texas. Russell is right there, but I do not think there's enough time left. Actually, Russell lost a couple hundredths of a second that time by. There's a lap down car, but again, too far in front to matter. And here we go, off the final turn. Russell tried everything in his best, and while Russell will still come home with a very, very respectable second place, it is redemption for Nia, as she will get her first career NROL Skittles Cup Series win in Texas. Redemption for Nia. And she gets that long-awaited first career Cup Series win. She had to fight off the hometown hero to do it, but she still does it. How about that? And with that, a sense of closure. After her embarrassing loss from Sandown, she is finally able to redeem herself and score her first career win. Russell David tried his best and will still come in with a very respectable second place. And that is really going to impact this championship fight. And with that, his teammate Fernando Bobbin finished quite a long ways back. So, I tell you what, if Russell is consistent throughout the rest of these playoffs, he could be back in contention. Because he finished a long way ahead of the other big three, so this isn't automatically going to put Russell back in this championship fight, but it is progress. So what a race. So the top two in this race, definitely a very interesting top two indeed. It came down to, like I said, a couple young drivers looking for their first win. Russell almost was able to do it in front of his hometown crowd, and even had even was wearing the TRE colors. And I tell you what though, Russell, in the first two races he ran with the TRE colors, he did not do too well. But it just so happened that in the race where it made the most sense to run the TRE colors, it is Russell comes in with a very respectable second place finish. But still, Russell was so close to getting that first win, but ultimately just could not chase down Nia. Oh well, Russell still has a lot of years ahead of him, so you never know. But still. Well, considering the rest of the grid, Tyler Reddick comes home in third, Gridgen in fourth, Kurt Busch in fifth, Jimmy Johnson sixth, not bad for him, Matt DiBenedetto seventh, Ryan Newman eighth, Eric Garwell in ninth, Bo Wallace in 10th, Joe Logano 11th, Douglas 12th, Austin in 13th, Reed Sorensen 14th, and Eric Jones, the next playoff guy to come home with the race. And I think Russell David, ironically enough, was the only playoff driver that didn't get in any sort of trouble. Eric Jones, the first of 9 other playoff drivers who all had problems in this race. Chase comes home in 17th, Kyle Busch in 18th, Chris Bell 19th, Ryan Blank comes home in 20th, Tim Tom 21st, William Byron 22nd, Kevin Harvick 23rd, Danny Six in 24th, Miss Lay 25th, Rebecca in 26th, Martin Shreer 27th. I can say for all these guys, actually, they did not have very good days. All the playoff guys, I should say. So, Martin Shreer 27th, Matt Kenneth 28th, Cole Cuss 29th, Fernando Bobbin 30th, your points leader. Still likely going to be your points leader, but not by very much. Perez comes home in 31st, Chris Busch in 32nd, Denny Hamlin 33rd, Ryan Preece in 34th, Dawn 35th, Oliver 36th, the Relix Boxner 37th, Brad Keselowski 38th, Brian Coates 39th, Klumpor 4th, Ricky Sales Jr. 41st, and Alex Bowman comes home in 42nd. Well, there you go. A pair of very well raced from Texas. 4 races remain. I'm out of breath. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Redemption from Nia. And I will see you in whatever I make next.